Welcome back to Black Girl Couch Reviews. I'm your host, Christina. We are back. Finally, the wait is over for Stranger Things Season 3, Episode 1, Chapter 1, Suzie, Do You Copy? This, of course, is brought to us by the Duffer Brothers. They both wrote and directed the series. No, I think they have some different writers on here. This was a really good episode. I gave it a 9.8 out of 10. Near to perfection. A little slower pace than I thought it would be, but I guess it was just a different acclimation to some of the characters. I don't even think it was slower pace. I think it was just me looking at my children all grown up. I mean, everyone has grown at least 4 inches and I'm not okay. Not even a little bit. This is pretty much going to consume my entire weekend. Like, I was only planning on doing 2 episodes, but I honestly don't know how I'm going to stop. I don't. And my sister's coming over and she wants to binge watch it as well tomorrow and Sunday. So I don't foresee me not watching the entire thing. So apologies for Swamp Thing. Hopefully I can just get through, the thing about these episodes, they go so freaking quick, it seems like. And it's only 8 episodes this season, but I mean, that's 8 hours of your life, but I feel like I can do that and still get podcasts out. So I've had a 5-hour energy. I've had a Mountain Dew. So I'm ready. I got my wine. I got my snacks. I'm totally ready to binge watch. I did not think I was going to do it. I mean, I had everything on standby just in case, but after the first episodes, there's just no way I'm not going to want to keep going on. And something that I've been wanting for quite a while to happen, and I was very, very happy. So we start in 1984, where we see these, and I knew immediately it was Russian, just the way, the posture, and they are in some type of lab or facility. They have this laser where you see these 2 scientists put in their access keys. They turn it and the laser turns on. I love the shot of the laser. Like, the special effects this season already have stepped up their game, and the creep factor is all the way out there, and they definitely are showing you this is not the same Stranger Things that we've seen the past 2 seasons. Our kids are teenagers now, so the threats are gonna be a little bit more age appropriate. And that involves more violence, and I'm so here for it. So very here for it. The scientists launch the laser. It goes into a wall, and we see that it's starting to open the portal between the other side and our world. And of course, the black substance from that world that we've seen previously is starting to leak out from it. However, it's not powerful enough. The laser sputters out and they're not able to release it. I'm like, why y'all playing with fire like this? Why? This is seems hazardous. This is in I did say this is in Russia, right? Because the Russian generals are watching as well with the group of scientists. Even more awesome was the scene in which the whatever fusion thing they were using explodes, except it sputters out all this energy and it completely eviscerates every last guard in that, or a scientist in that room, even though they had gas masks on, and you see their bones and melted flesh, and I'm like, oh, that's very graphic. And again, I'm so here for it. Very happy to see that we are getting a more mature theme this year. This general is not pissed or is not happy, not pissed. He is pissed, and the one scientist starts to talk that bullshit. When you see a man that upset, you just don't say anything. Don't say anything. Let him be the first to speak. But he starts making excuses, talking about we're so close. The one dude wasn't stupid. He just stood there. He didn't say one word. He didn't join his hombre. And he kept saying how we just need more time. He gets yanked up by this other general who proceeds to strangle him to death with one hand, which is terrifying. And the other general tells the scientist, you got 1 year. You better impress my ass. As they drop the dude to tell him that this will be your fate if you are not successful. That's a lot of pressure on someone. And this is how we open the series. Our music comes on. I was jamming out to that music. I love that intro. And I love that they did a recap in case you needed that. I did not. Not even a little bit. I was like, nope, I'm ready to jump right back in. Until I saw my baby kids. I was like, what the fuck? What? Why? Why you were flushed out? Why? What? This is not okay. This is really not okay. 11 and Mike are making the most of the outs. They're having a full-on makeout session with the music on, mind you. The music, the bumping grind music of that time is playing in the background. And poor Hop. I was with Hop this entire. I was not with Joyce. I was like, Joyce. That's that suburban American type of parenting. Hop from the streets like my mama. We ain't playing them games. We are not playing them games. No, you will respect shit. Fuck you and your feelings. I fucking feed you. You're not gonna fucking tell me about what you feeling right now. You want the right to tell me? Oh my Lord Jesus. I was about to backhand Mike. Mike was about to catch hands this episode. Hands. I mean, I am like giving all the awards to Hop for not whooping that ass. Cause I would have whooped that ass. I would have yanked him out of the damn house. He had to come up with a lie. We gonna get there. But I am terribly affronted as a parent. And on how Mike was behaving. And 11. They making out in the room. They do have the door open like an inch, but they're totally making out. Hop leans all the way back in his love seat. He looks younger than he did the last 2 seasons, or is that just me? And he spies them making out, and he's like, hey, and 11 gonna slam the door. Slams the door with her powers, and then proceeds not to open it when he is pounded on the door. And there is nothing he can do about that. Nothing. And then he opens the door, and they're pretending like they were sitting apart reading this entire time. And he's looking at them like, are y'all fucking kidding me? Seriously. Mike leaves, and they're both joking about how they played him, how his face was red and how it was going to cherry pop. And already I was like, this is not healthy. I'm totally with Hop. The whole time I kept saying, Elle and Mike are not healthy. That's not okay. 1, you're too young. 2, you have no experience. 3, you're all up on, you're not breathing without the others breathe. That's not okay. That's way too much going on between them that is in need of some course correcting. This scene is one of them where he says, I'm going to talk to you first thing in the morning. He gets to the mall and meets up with, oh my God, my baby Will. My baby Will. I wanted to just hug him so much. He's my precious one. He's my favorite out of the bunch. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. That is my precious life. And Lucas, as well as, why am I blanking on her name? I should not be blanking on her name, but I always be blanking on her name. Why is that? Max is there, And Lucas starts to tease him about how, you all you want to do is hang out with 11 and smooch all the time. And Mike is just like, well, it's my girlfriend. There's nothing wrong with wanting to spend time with my girlfriend. And Lucas is like, I'm spending time with my girlfriend too. We're just going to the movies like normal fucking people, not make out in my house, listening to romantic music and constantly being all up underneath each other. We see Will laughing at Lucas teasing Mike because he's enjoying his pain. Poor Will. He is solo. He said he was never going. We'll get to that scene in a minute. But they go in to see Day of the Dead. And I love how first they go to the, where was it? Ice cream stand where Steve Arrington is working. He has a coworker who calls him Dingus. They're totally gonna hook up. I mean, it's obvious. It's foreseen. It's written in the stars. But Steve lets the kids in so that they can sneak in the back way to the movie theater. And I'm like, Steve, my man, coming through. And it really harkens back to that time period, because I totally snuck in them. I mean, we used to be fucking we were the magicians of sneaking into a movie theater. I mean, we would walk out of one movie and open the door and the exit, let people in. And then when they got in the movie theater and they opened their bag and their snacks was in there, I was like, oh hell yeah, the brakes were back. You would always have your snacks in the bag all the time. You was not buying that high ass shit. You was like, that is not that good. No, it's not. You would sneak in your Skittles, whatever you can pack in your bag, and that would be that. I don't know if I had Skittles. I used to buy a lot of the, what was that? The cookie dough. Little cookie dough, chocolate bites. Those was fire. And the peanut butter M&Ms. But then I always would have a soft spot for the ices. This one theater, they just made them to perfection. So they're enjoying their movie when the power goes out. It goes out all over the town. Not creepy at all. We don't know what caused the power to go out, but we do see this scene in which a whole bunch of rats are moving for some reason. It's really creepy, and we see I don't even know what they call it, the smoke monster. The Demogorgon? Gorgon? Is that still him? What was he called? Is that what it's called? What? Someone, yeah, I can't remember. They're gonna say it, but he's back. Guess who's back? Back again. Shady Monster's back for Will, his friend, and Will feels it in the force, in the theater. The hairs raised on the back of his neck. He starts feeling where he has been possessed, because that shit is part of his DNA. He feels it, but the power comes back on and everyone's just totally happy about this. I love when the power went out. Oh, there was a scene that preceded this, I forgot, with Lucas and his sister. Oh, what's her name? Oh, I'm gonna get her name because I love her so. Erica. Erica is sitting with all her black girlfriends eating ice cream, and Lucas and his friends walk by, and she's like, nerds. And he's just like, what are you even doing here? Or damn it, I cannot even recall the conversation. I'm not doing it justice, but they started going ham at each other. And I know when the power went out, she was like, what the hell? I'm so glad we're seeing more of Erica. She was calling him fart face. Oh, she was talking that game to him. Everyone else put their head down. They was like, I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that. So yeah, that's what happens at the mall. And after that, let me look at my notes because I don't remember. Oh, this is when we catch up with Jonathan and Nancy. They oversleep. They're late to their job. They both work for the newspaper. It's sexist environment. She's like, I can't be late because it's good for you, but whatever I do, it's, you know, they had her cleaning trash. They had her bringing lunch. She brought up an idea in front of the all-male smoking colleagues. This is how the workplace used to be back in the day, which is disgusting. And I think that's what they're meant to be showing. Like, this was openly accepted and told okay. Like, women had to fight to not be treated this way. It should have been common sense, but no, men had to actually be told and taught not to demean women. And she brings up an idea about a story about the mall and all the small time businesses being affected by that. And the guy says, yeah, that sounds good, but the real story is, why isn't there mustard on my sandwich? And they proceed to laugh like that was funny. Didn't even make sense. Ugh, I wanted to slit everyone's throat in that room. Every single last one of them. Just because it's just disgusting. Because those type of men run in the damn country. So, and taking their supremacy back by continuously closing more abortion clinics. But back to things that are not real life. Jonathan is kind of a little not very, I would say he's not very proactively supporting Nancy. Like, she's clearly telling him it's not right for me. Like, even when she approaches him at work, he's just like, Nancy, fuck, you came in here. He could have said, oh, sorry, babe, or what, you know, she obviously made a mistake, but even he bites her head off, which I was not very happy to see. So Nancy is stuck in a reality she did not. She wants to be a valid newspaper journalist, but staying in this town, especially a backward town like Indiana, at this time in history, no, that would not be the ideal place for her. We catch up with, who is it? Joyce. Joyce is approached. She's putting up one of the signs because her business is going, everything's discounted. Her business is suffering because of the new mall. That's what happens when we corporate America. But I can't be mad because, you know, it's the wheel of the machine. I can't pretend I don't like going to those malls. But it is sad that she's kind of going out of business. She does have her regular customers, some of them, but, you know, Hop comes in. He's like, you got a minute? She's like, you're the first customer of the day. And he starts to tell her all about his problems and frustrations with Eleven and Mike. And her response is to talk to them, connect with them on some level of, and then once they accept that, then you can talk about boundaries. And he looks at her because he's got hard eyes, and she is still not over Bob Newby at the buyer's house. And the Bob Newby picture comes off, and she's just like, my baby, she's still touching it. It's been what, a year? 2 years? Girl, get you some Hop. Stop pretending you ain't love that man first. And she writes him, he wants her to come over for dinner tonight and help him, because she's trying to give him advice, and he's like, can you just do this for me? And she's like, I can't do that, it has to come from you. However, I can write it down for you. So they start to rehearse what he's going to say, and I was listening to everything. I was like, this sounds nice, but they have crossed the line already, where this pep talk should have happened before they crossed that line. Now it's more like, how do I not murder them and get my point across so that we can still be friends at the end of this, or still on speaking terms? Because I am the sheriff, and didn't he say, he's like, I could just make him go away. I am the sheriff. And Hop that is still making hard eyes when Joyce makes hand contact, and he says, is this when he asked her to dinner again? And she says no, that she's got plans. And he's like, you got plans. And her plans is with her warmed up leftovers and the show her and Bob used to watch. So that's sad for Joyce. Sad. Meanwhile, rats are being called to the sewers and exploding. As soon as I saw them go on, I saw the first one, and it was like splat.
Jesus Christ.
That was nasty and disgusting, especially with all the way the effects was moving on the ground. Ugh. At that point, because I was wondering where my baby boo Dustin was. Dustin comes into town. He's calling on his radio for everyone to welcome him home. And his mom's like, dude, it's been a month, maybe they're just not there. He goes home and puts his shit down, looks at Turtle, and is like, well, at least someone's happy to see me. Then all the toys in his room start to turn on, and they start leaving his room. He thinks he's dreaming, but grabs some hairspray just in case. Immediately I knew it was 11. Of course, it's always been in the promo where the toys stop, 11 stops them, and they try to sneak up behind him. He freaks out and proceeds to spray Lucas in the face. Poor Lucas. He takes it hard. He's like trying to get it out of his eye. That's when Dustin tells them, and by them I mean Will and Mike and 11, about how first he's showing them all the things that he's built, which is all these awesome things that I'm sure is going to come into handy by the end of the series. But the most impressive thing is this type of long-range radio in which he can speak to his girlfriend Suzie. Now, during this whole entire scene, all I kept looking at was 11, who is, attached to the hip to Mike. Again, I love that they're in love. That's really adorable and cute. However, this is codependent, and that's not, again, healthy. Like, get the fuck off for 5 seconds. He has to go somewhere high in order to get a signal, so he has all of his friends follow him. However, 11 lies and says that she has to get home. Mike says it's her curfew, and they run off. Will says resentfully that it's been like this all summer. Lucas just flat out says the truth, they lying. And Dustin says that's bullshit, it's my first day home. And I agree. Friends before fucking. It was his first day. Now, if this was like 3 days from now, okay, yeah, Dustin, I ain't down with your bullshit. But you just got home, indulge him. That's what the rest of them did. They get all the way up there. Everyone's kind of shitty about this because it's a very long hike. Once they get up there, they put it together. He says, cool, right? And they do, at least Max does admit that it's cool. However, when he calls Suzie, there is no answer. Suzie, do you copy? Suzie don't copy. Suzie don't copy at all. It's dark and Suzie still ain't copying. And again, Lucas with them straight up facts. I think he does have a girlfriend, but Lucas with them straight up facts is thinking, not facts, I'm sorry, straight up trash talking, says that Suzie ain't real. You made her up. There's no way a girl can be that perfect. Of course, Max is like, excuse me? And he got onto the top of the mountain and was like, I'm thirsty, and drank all of their water. She gonna dump his ass. He gonna have to earn. This is the thing about men in this time period. They understand that they needed to earn their women. That's why so many women right now don't be fucking with them. It's why we happily single. That's why I be looking at Joyce. Joyce is like, dude, I had my good time. Shoot, I ain't got to fall in love. I ain't got to take the offers just because it's out there. Sometimes I just want to be by myself with my TV dinner and my shows. They finally give up on him and go home. He's like, well, at least I got buyers. Buyers like, it is late and, you know, maybe we can play D&D like old times. Poor Will is stuck in his adolescence and I need him to see some shrinks. Is he still seeing, like, he's been through a lot of shit, y'all, in the last two. He went missing for a whole damn series, like a month, weeks, in some other type of universe. And just when he thought the shit was over, he started coughing up shit from the other universe and was possessed by a fucking demon monster. Had an exorcist on his ass and saw people like get possessed. I mean, he has been through so much. He needs to be seeing a psychiatrist on a daily. He needs meds. Man, if not meds, he definitely needs to talk to a counselor. He's not okay. I need y'all to be looking out for the signs. He wants to play D&D like old times. D&D and been gone, boy. It's over. It's about pussy and and machoism and getting that money and being stressed the fuck out. I know, I want to hold on to childhood and my youth for as long as I possibly can, so I feel you. However, you are not seeing the writing on the wall, my dear. And neither are his friends. That he might need to talk to somebody. Then, Dustin, well, we go back to Dustin a little bit later. Because Nancy is cleaning the office when she gets a phone call. And it's to a, it's starting to talk about what, diseased rats. So I was like, oh, this is how it starts when we start getting them signs. I think there was a scene I skipped at the pool where we catch up with this piece of shit. Can't even fucking remember his name. Just piece of shit Moloch. That's all. I was so happy when he died. Spoiler alert, he died. I was like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But doucheface is Billy. Is that his name? Billy is thinking he's hot shit and all the women at the pool love him. Like every single ass woman. I'm like, women have some morals. Have some taste. Have some pride. But all the women are loving all over him. That's very 80s too, though. And he's the lifeguard. The cougars are on the side making themselves look good. He's got a thing for Mrs. Wheeler. He wants that ass. Does it maybe have something to do with getting back at Mike for embarrassing the fuck out of him with his friends? Maybe. I'm sure that's a bonus. But watches her swim, approaches her, and tells her to meet him at the motel for some private swimming lessons with his cock. And at first she's like, I can't do it. But then like 2 seconds later, I'll be there. He said it'll be the time of your life. And she's like, sold. Sold. You didn't have to try that hard. She didn't even really think it over. She already knew what her answer was going to be. She got a new swimsuit and everything. She gets home, starts getting ready to go out and have an adulterous affair. Puts on the makeup, puts on the smell good, has a little red negligee on. And she goes downstairs, and just as she's about to make the worst decision of her life, she sees her husband up with their child that they have together, and maybe raising these 2 children through some tough shit over the last few years may have caused but the thing of it is, speak the fuck up. Like I would buy this more if I would see it kind of like, I get you're bored with your husband, but when do you say, dear, why don't we do something to spice this up? He's comfortable because he thinks you happy. Just saying. It goes both ways. But I think she did make the decision not to really do it. That is when we catch back up with, because I think there's a scene I'm probably missing. But my favorite scene of the episode is when because Will feels the spirit in the calling in the air tonight when he is on the hill as well. Nancy, or not Nancy, I love getting all their names fucked up. Here comes my favorite scene of the episode. We have poor Hop on the couch, knowing that these kids are making out because they're again playing the hump music, and he's holding the pillow, rehearsing the words that he was told to say, have a heart-to-heart with them. He knocks on the door to his own home, in which he pays the bills and is given permission to enter. He then sits down, says he wants to talk to them, and soon as he sits down, they don't even turn off the music. He has to turn off the music. He doesn't know what to say. He's staring at them. They're both just sitting cross-eyed looking at him, and they make a joke and say, uh-oh, we must be in trouble. Will said, or not Will, fucking Mike says that, all types of disrespectfully. And he says, no, nobody's in trouble. I just wanted to tell you. Then Mike leans over and whispers in Elle's ear. And that would have been the moment where I would have said,
all I want you to do is send an ambulance, because I'm finna bust a cap in these fools.
That boy would have been deceased in that moment. It wouldn't even gone that far, because my child would never even that shit would never went down in my house. No, ever. This is when Hop is like, you know what? It's your nana. You gotta get home. Why? Because your mother said so. It's your grandma. She's needed. He follows out the house to Hop, and Hop gets him to get into the car because he keeps saying, what's wrong? What's going on? Did she fall down the steps? Did she do this? Did she do that? Hop's like, nothing is wrong with her. This is about you and 11. What y'all are doing is not right. It's not okay. And he says, you lying piece of shit.
It was at this moment that he knew. he fucked up.
Hop looked like the power of Christ was compelling him. I mean, Lord Jesus put hands on him. Said, don't kill this boy. Don't do it. He don't realize you have a gun. He's just a child. Don't murder him. He's got so much life to live. He says, he starts locking the door. Like, he tries to get out of the car, out of the truck, and he locks the door. He keeps locking the door. He's like, you think this is crazy, boy? You ain't even seen crazy. Like, you think, like, you have any idea? Like, I think for the first time, Mike started to sense the danger he was in, the full extent of the rage in which Hop was holding. Because Joyce told him, do not lose your temper, and he followed Joyce's directions in that regard. But he said, boy, let me tell you something. I'm about to drive your ass home, and I'm gonna speak, and you gonna listen, and maybe, just maybe, I'm gonna let you see my daughter again. Motherfucking disrespectful ass little kid. I'm like, you ain't lost your damn mind. Your mother need to talk to you. Oh no. I was like, Hop gets all the awards. All the awards for showing them how you do these kids. Because this is how some of these kids used to act. Then we get Dustin back on the hill, and he's still trying to call for Suzie. Because he is feeling really bummed about his welcome home. And he starts to hear a Russian man speaking. And we get a flash to the lab back in Russia. Of course, it's been a year. Homeboy got his shit together. He had built something beautiful. We don't know what it is. But he looked like he still might be in his feelings about what happened to his scientist friend. I don't know. There's something dead in his eyes. That made me really fear for what's gonna happen next. And then we flash to something happened at Joyce's too. Yeah, because when she was watching, all the Bob Newby thing started to shake, and then all the pictures fell off of the refrigerator. And then we get to Billy driving to his date, his affair, his seduction with Mrs. Wheeler, and he's looking at himself in the mirror as he's driving, talking about, hey Karen, you mind if I call you Karen? Something out of the blue hits his car, and he gets out and proceeds to continue to call the car a piece of shit, like it's the car's fault that you can't drive, or that you was distracted and not watching the fucking road, because it is dark as shit and I saw no damn street lights, so your brights should be on, and maybe you would have saw that big ass, what I believe to be a rat. It looked like a rat. It looked like a big ass rat. And I was like, I don't want to see that. I just don't. I hate rats. I hate them. We see that rat. I mean, at first I was like, nah, they ain't gonna do it. Yes, please do it. Please do it. And yes, they did. They killed. I mean, there's nothing to confirm he's dead, but it would be a bonus. I would not be sad. Not even a little bit. I don't care that he was a yellow, green, gray, pink, white, whatever ranger he was supposed to be. I don't care. I don't. R.I.P. motherfucker. Or not. Because he called that, he's gonna talk about whistle out, and everyone at the pool stopped, and he gonna say, hey lard ass, don't run or I'm gonna ban you for life. Did you get that lard ass? I'm like, are you kidding me? And to me, that really showed, like, I get the show that you're gonna enjoy his death, and he clearly learned nothing, and he's still a douchebag. He's not like Steve. But there was like parents at that pool. They should have said, oh hell no, you ain't gonna talk to no other kid like that. Like, where is his mother? I would have said, I'm filing a complaint. Let me go ahead and get paid today. This man is getting fired. There's just no way. There has got to be some decent person there. that would not allow that kid to be humiliated. He was not the only big kid in that pool either. So him being gone is, adios, motherfucker. Feedback, you can send it. I'm probably gonna still, it's gonna be like a few days. I might not record everything. I probably might get to episode 2 recording tonight, but you can send that to blackgirlcouch@gmail.com if you want to make any type of comments. And if I do get enough feedback, I can do a bonus one. Social medias will be below. You can find this podcast on Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes, and Spotify at Black Girl Couch Reviews. I can't say my outro anymore because I realized that someone else that I Patreon, has the same outro. So I was like, they made a shirt of it, so that would be kind of rude to continue to say it. And I don't have a substitute, so till next time.
Bye, motherfucker!